Hello everyone, I am the one and only Boiler and I welcome you. Today I have something a little different for you. As you can see, we are not playing games today, instead you have to content with my talking head. The reason for that is that I'm going to build a new PC and I figured that this might be a good opportunity to do something a little different on the channel. Now don't be afraid, I will not turn into a tech channel here. But I figured if I'm doing this build right now, I might as well make a few videos about it and put them on the channel. After all, it's a gaming PC, so it still has something to do with gaming. So I guess I will take you along for the ride. Now this will be a series of videos, with this first one being an introduction, where I will talk a little bit about my background on building PCs and the reasons why I do it. The other videos will then be about the shopping list for the build, some component reviews, the build itself of course, and at the end we will also have a look at some settings, software, and maybe do some benchmarks together. So yeah, along the way I will try to include as many insights and tips as I can about building your own system, and hopefully you will be entertained and can learn a thing or two. Now, I don't consider myself an expert, and not even an enthusiast for that matter, but I do feel that I did pick up a thing or two about building PCs over the years. And while there are of course a lot of other YouTubers with much more knowledge and experience regarding the subject, I still feel I can contribute something from a layman's perspective. The message here basically being that everyone can build a computer. You don't need to be a tech guy, you just need to be willing to do the necessary research and work. And it pays off, you know, and not just because you can get a better system for the same money than you would if you would spend that money on a pre-built PC. It is also a highly rewarding experience. You see, when you buy a complete PC from a store or website, all that it will ever be is an appliance, a tool that you use and replace when it no longer works or when it's no longer adequate for what you're doing. It will be something that it will not be something that you can be proud of, no matter how much you spend on it. However, when you build your own system, when you decide on the case, on all the components that go into the case, on all the brands, the colors, the RGB and so on, then it will be truly your PC. It will not be something that you bought, it will be something that you built. And you will be looking at it with pride and you will have way more fun using it. You can trust me on that. And just think about the difference of telling your friends about the new PC that you built as opposed to the new PC that you bought. Yeah, I really want you to get on board with building your own system, and I hope I will be able to do that with this series. I myself have gone through the complete cycle. My first PC was a gift from my brother. Then I owned two that I bought from a store, and later I had one that I bought from a website that would let me configure the hardware myself. Over the time, however, I became more and more interested in how PCs work, and that grew into a desire to completely control every aspect of my PC and be able to troubleshoot and upgrade it whenever needed. I also wanted to make sure that I get the best performance that I could get for my money, and that my PC only contains quality components. Now these are two things that are hard to find in pre-built PCs. More often than not, pre-built PCs cost more than what the same build would cost when you do it yourself, and they also often contain some low quality components, especially keep power supply units, motherboards, RAM, SSDs and or hard disks, because these are components that most casual PC owners don't know much about, and so the manufacturers see a chance to save money and maximize profits. I have been building my own systems now for, well, it must be something like 20 years, and this will be my fifth system. The one I'm currently using is now 7 years old, which is not a bad age for a gaming PC, and it actually still is quite capable. It has a 4-core 4 GHz 4790K Intel CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, 2 500 gig SSDs, and a 1080 Ti graphics card in it. Now, of course, the 1080 Ti is not 7 years old. I upgraded that one about 4 years ago, replacing the original 780 Ti that I had in there. So why do I want to replace it? Well, while I can still game on it, it is starting to show its age, especially on more demanding titles. And there are some games that I didn't even try playing with it, knowing that I would not be able to run them smoothly with max details. So they're just sitting in my Steam library waiting for me to upgrade or replace my PC. Now, upgrade is a good keyword here, because I would actually be able to upgrade my system to get a few more years out of it, but I figured the upgrade needed would be so substantial that I might as well just build a new PC instead. You see, there are actually a few things that I want to be able to do with my PC, and I can't do all of these or most of these with my current one, or at least not as well as I would like. First, I want to upgrade my gaming to 4K, and with the 1080 Ti this will not be possible with many of my games, especially the ones that will profit the most from the higher resolutions and screen size. And ray tracing with the 1080 Ti, yeah, you can just forget that. I have also hit the limit of my storage quite some time ago, which means I would have to install another SSD in there. In terms of RAM, while 16 gigs is enough for gaming, it unfortunately is not enough for smooth, high-resolution video editing. For that, I would need at least 32 gigs or even better 64 gigs, especially when we are talking about 4K video. So I would be looking at a new graphics card, at least one SSD, and either 16 additional gigs of RAM, or a complete replacement by a 64 GB set. And since my power supply is already scraping the barrel with the current build, this upgrade would also require a new power supply as well. So we are looking at least at $3,500 to $4,000 worth of hardware just for an upgrade. Now, if you find that number to be high, that is because it includes a 4K ray tracing graphics card, and prices for that kind of thing are insane right now. Now, of course, this is still cheaper than a completely new system, especially with current prices, but an upgrade would buy me maybe 2-3 years at the most, while a completely new build should be good for about triple that, while also performing better overall at the same time. And it also gives me the chance to try a few new things and get up to speed on the current technology. For example, this will be my first RGB build, and first time I will be putting my PC on the desk instead of underneath it. I am also looking forward to the lightning fast PCI Express Gen 4 M.2 SSDs, as well as USB 3.2 and other cool new stuff that I don't have and can't get on my current PC. So yeah, I'm building a new system at the absolutely worst time imaginable, with prices and availability of components being what they are. Now, fortunately, I was able to get everything I need, although at somewhat higher prices than I would have liked. And I even have a graphics card here, yeah. We actually have a store here that has some on stock every now and then, at the usual inflated prices that we currently have, of course. So yes, I did spend way more on that card than I should have. Yeah, but that's the price for being impatient, so I will have to live with that. So this is it for this first video. If you liked it, please leave a like below and come back for the next one. There we will go through my shopping list, and I will tell you how you select the right components for your system. This guide will work for any budget, so even though mine is more of a high budget build, you will still be able to get useful information, even if your budget is more constrained than mine. So yeah, I hope I see you then. I wish you well, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good time. Bye!